Rider. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. Make sure this is in the playlist. No. What up, what up? Let's see. Oh, that's not spelled correctly. Boom. We are live. Yes, we are. What up, what up? What's going on? Shoot, I gotta put it on Twitter as well. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. There we go. What up, what up? Every time I say it, Jesus. Yo, Tuesday, what's going on, buddy? You see the Cody Brundage bullshit? What a crock of shit. Of all the fights that could be overturned, that's the one we're gonna get? I don't understand. I don't understand. Why? Why? Holy crap. Oh, you didn't? Oh, Cody Brundage and the Mansoor fight got changed to a draw. A fucking draw. I'm sorry, but the thing that hurt Cody and finished him was not the illegal strike. Whew. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know. I don't agree. Do not agree. Majority draw. Good God. Good God. Ridiculous. Hebos or Richie? Richie. Deep throat? That's weird. Very strange. Very, very strange. Connor will slap the head out of the... No. Is their head Usman? Connor ain't gonna do nothing except go to prison finally. Finally. Cat on the background? Yep. Said hi. Sup? Do I... no. Salam. Sup? What was your takeaway from the RDR win over Bo Nickel? Bo Nickel had no business being in there. It's not necessarily his fault. It is not a fraud check. RDR did exactly what he should have done. That is the reality. That is 100% the reality. I got a bit of coffee. Mandingo. Sup? Answer me when I talk to you. Okay. Or what? The fuck? No one knows the true power of Artem Lobov. We watched him in the UFC. He was not very good. It's a stupid question to ask, Mandingo. So, stupid. True power. Yeah, Artem Lobov, he was good in the Ultimate Fighter, but not in the UFC. Not at all. Actually, he was terrible, if I should say so myself. Terrible. Stupid question, Mandingo. Stupid question. If you guys are doing well, slap that like button. Appreciate you. Yeah, Abraham, RDR, Bo Nickel had no reason to be in there to fight RDR. It made no sense. No reason. Told you D-Rod wouldn't win. Good pick. Good pick. Kevin Holland looked bad, except the third round when he almost finished him. But, yeah, you were right. I expected Holland to look a lot better, and he did not. Anderson Rocha, what's up? What's up? Hell nasty. I got RDR winning this weekend. I got RDR winning. He will slap the little head on the little... What? No. Topuria would destroy him. Destroy him. No. Kind of wasn't known for his fucking defense. It's craziness. Told you D-Rod would win. You are crazy, El Nasty. Crazy. Syed winning this week? Oh yeah. This Saturday? Absolutely. Absolutely. Me Too RDR is turning into a fan favorite. Yep. With his style, absolutely. I don't disagree. He's fun, man. Artem Lobov versus... No, that'd be stupid. Artem Lobov is bad. He would get KO'd. I like the name of people from the Netherlands. They got badass names. That's fair. That is fair. I kind of see the same type of thing with the Drysis Whitaker fight, except I don't think RDR will TKO him. I think he'll submit him, but RDR has some weird power. His striking's not good, his defense not good, but Whitaker hasn't really changed his style. He's the same darting in, blitzing type of fighter that he always has been. I just don't think that's going to work with Ritter, who's already taller and longer than him. DDP's name is badass too. They descended from the Netherlands too. Absolutely. DDP, I like a lot. What's your locks for this Abu Dhabi card? I believe I only have one, and that is Damon Blackshear. He is my lock. He's the only lock that I have. Again, if you guys don't mind, slap that like button. Talking about UFC. I hope Cyril Gane wrote a final will and has his affairs in order. That's fair. I don't think he's going to get finished early, though. He might lose, but I don't think it's as early as people think it's going to be. So, I think Tom wins, but I do not think it's going to be as early. Got to be honest. Only 15. Those are the only people that actually got contracted to fight him. Imagine more people. Whew. Whew. They would destroy him. Thoughts on... What? What? He's not blocking his return. He's just blocking the fact that he doesn't want him to be main event. Which, again, let's be real. He will be main event. If he actually comes back and decides he wants to fight, he will be main event. John Jones isn't being a co-main event. So, I think we got like 5 months until he's eligible to come back. So, it'll be early next year. Probably around March, I would assume. John Jones was the only person who could beat Artem. Marab is an all-time historic run. Is on. Who you have RDR? The Reaper? I have RDR. What? The fuck kind of question is that? If you're just going to keep putting it on there, I'm just going to time you out. Marab is nothing against Artem. What do you want to see, Jones versus Ngannou or Jones versus Tom? I want to see both. Both. I think the harder fight is Ngannou because you can't make a single mistake. We know nothing about Tom's other stuff, and that's what I've always been saying. But I want to see both fights. If I had to pick one or the other, Tom, because he's already in the UFC. I don't know. I don't think Ngannou's ever going to come back. But of course, I want to see John against those guys. I want to see John versus Alex. Of course, I want to see that. I'm curious as everybody else. Shit, my thing's dead. D-Rod versus Carlos Prates. I think Prates would snipe him, but that's a fun fight because D-Rod has power. You see me versus Artem. Well, as much as Artem gets hit, I could hit him. You kidding me? I could hit him. I was telling No Chill, I did a stream a couple days ago with No Chill MMA. Check it out. I was telling him, out of nowhere, D-Rod's 20-5. Out of nowhere, he's on a 3-fight win streak. I mean, I thought this guy was Dunsville after his loss. His I believe 3 losses in a row. And then, there he is. D-Rod or Byrne, who wins? I don't think Gilbert Burns is the same dude. I would say D-Rod. Artem wins by... What? The fuck? Okay. Don't mind me, just drinking some coffee. Again, if you guys are not subscribe. I just hit over 4,000. Check out the shorts. Check out the playlist for UFC Abu Dhabi, which is Whitaker, RDR. Yeah, check that out. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I have one lock, and that is Damon Blackshear against Davey Grant. He definitely wins by the kind of submission. Okay. Okay. Sure. Thoughts on Pitbull versus Josh Emmett? Josh Emmett sleeps Pitbull. Even though I want Pitbull to win, I love Pitbull. But Emmett has that you fucked up power. Maturing is realizing that Francis was talented, but not superstar the UFC marketing machine made him out to be. He got severely exposed in his first fight against Stipe. You can't really say that because, yeah, he got exposed. But again, it's like Tom. He had never been tested before that. And then he fights Stipe, hurts him really bad in the first, gasses out in his first challenge. Then what does he do? Obviously loses to Lewis, and then he comes back and he goes on a crazy fucking run. So it's a little unfair there. I do think he's a tidbit overrated, but to say he was exposed, sure, but then he came back and became champion. You know, so it's hard. Sad Pitbull came too late to the UFC. Yeah, and people don't understand how good Pitbull was. Tom's never gonna pass the second round. Tom's untested. He's barely passed the fucking first. I know that means he's not to the second. I'm just saying he's barely into the first round. And it worries me when a guy that hasn't, but the one time he was with Andrei Arlovsky, I'm sorry, but to me, that's an issue. I don't know. And that's the... People always act like because I think John would beat Tom, it's because I don't like Tom. I like Tom. I think he's talented. I think he's fun to watch. But we can't sit here and lie to each other that he's been tested. Or he's fought a good fighter. He hasn't. He has not fought a good fighter. Pitbull KO'd Michael Chandler. Yep. Damn near KO'd Dan Ige, which I was not expecting that. I thought if he was going to beat Dan Ige, it was going to be using his wrestling, his grappling, and stuff like that. But that motherfucker almost finished him. I was so surprised. Let's be honest. So surprised. Yeah, he KO'd Michael Chandler, I believe, under 2 minutes. I believe also right before Chandler came to the UFC. Flat-footed power puncher in the second fight against Stipe. It was the Apex smaller octagon, which majorly favors his fighting style. Francis against Tom or John would never be close. Well, maybe, but you can't really say the smaller octagon helped the striker, because in any other instance, the smaller octagon helps the wrestler. That's how that works. And he defended takedowns, hurt Stipe, calculated himself, and beat him. So, yes, but no. And also, if Sergey Pavlovich can connect on Tom, so can Francis. How does Tom deal with the striking of Francis? I know what John's going to do with Francis, or not going to do. Not going to strike with him. Tom wouldn't be in top 10 if Kane JDS era. Correct. Does that mean he would never be? I don't know, because he's not tested. It's not a hard thing for people to comprehend. It doesn't mean we don't like him. It means he's not tested. Tom's champ in the weakest UFC heavyweight division era. Correct. You know what the best thing for Tom was? John Jones. That's the best thing for him. Because who are his two opponents that now he can fight? Almeida A rematch with Volkov, which we've already seen. Maybe it's different because this is the better Volkov. Fine. But a rematch, Almeida, and Cyril Gane, who John Jones destroyed in round number 1. So. I'd rather watch Ty versus Derek Lewis than Tom versus Gane. Boy, is that fair. Boy, is that fair. And people saying, oh, Tom's going to destroy Gane quickly. I bet you he wasn't. Does he beat Gane? Maybe. Does he destroy him early and quickly? No. Does he do what John does? No. I'm sorry, but no. No. I guarantee Cyril Gane's done something with this ground game. Again, it does not mean Gane's going to win. But it's going to be a harder fight than people want to say. And then get ready for everybody being like, oh, maybe John would beat him. Oh, Tom Aspinall didn't look very good here. Yeah, I don't know. Also, like, I understand at some point maybe it doesn't make sense, but when Rosenstruck was in the UFC in the heavyweight division, obviously, Tom never fought a seasoned striker like that. Again, this does not mean Tom loses. I'm just talking about matchups. Rosenstruck being a striker that he is, I'm curious. Even Taito Avasa, I'm curious. Derek Lewis, big power, I'm curious. Now, again, this does not mean I think Tom would lose against those guys. I just don't know. Waldo versus Sergey, a better matchup too. That fight is weird. Fucking weird. Rosenstruck versus Derek Lewis should have happened. Agreed. And you're telling me, like, Tom Aspinall could fight, like, Jake Collier and Rodrigo Nascimento, but he never fights Rosenstruck? That doesn't make any sense to me. He never fights Taito Avasa. He never fights Derek Lewis. It boggles my mind. Actually boggles my mind. I just think why? Why? How did they never fight? I want Rosenstruck and Gane need to be back in the UFC. Yeah. I agree. Also, Rosenstruck lost to Pavlich, but I don't know why he got cut. Heavyweight division is a mess. Yeah. They are a fun fighter. Yeah. Yes, they are. The beard is awesome, bro. How long have you been growing it? A couple years now. Gane versus Volkov grappling is comedy gold. Contrast that with Tom Aspinall, who has a serious ground game. He has a serious ground game? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Abraham? Again, all due respect, having conversation here, but what are you talking about? Serious ground game. You're talking about the time here he beat Volkov, who really has no ground game? Okay. I'm confused. Hey, what up? What up? What's up, Big Bubba? Tom has a serious ground game. Excuse me? What? I'm confused. RNC versus Arlovsky. Oh, yeah, rear naked choke against Arlovsky. Congrats. You know who also could rear naked choke Arlovsky? Any of you guys. What? The Brazilian light heavyweight guy that moved up, beat Austin, shows how weak heavyweight is Anthony Smith, would be champ at heavyweight. On paper. Drop a like. Appreciate you. Thank you. Are you talking about Almeida? Oh, no, you're talking about Petrino. You're talking about Victor Petrino. That's who you're talking about. I'm sorry. You're talking about Austin. Yeah, Petrino. He's fighting Thomas Peterson. Yuck. Yuck. I don't understand it, but okie dokie. Heavyweight division is all about the knockout power, not too much wrestling or grappling. Well, that's not really true because like Almeida is a grappler first. That's what he does. Now again, obviously they're few and far between. Spivak, when he gets guys down, he's okay on top. He's not a good striker and he folds against a lot of pressure. Same thing with Curtis Blades. He's a wrestler, a trait, or like a background, but he doesn't wrestle. No way you lose to Anthony Smith. Well, and the weird part about that is Petrino put himself in a guillotine. It's like, hey, guillotine's there, guillotine's there, guillotine's there. Oh, we tap. From what? Oh, a guillotine. Okay. Okay. Petrino is goof heavyweight or just fat light heavyweights is proof. Correct. Correct. Because his best place is light heavyweight. Now, will he be okay at heavyweights? Sure. Sure. But granted, it hasn't been on display in the UFC. Well, then, how do you know he's talented? Because outside the UFC, he's been beaten up on the ground. So you can't say he's talented on the ground because we don't know. Mostly because his fights don't go past the first round. Who's he fighting? Guys that are really, really bad with pressure and unproven fighters. Go past the first round, but if you follow Tom Aspinall's training stuff, I don't give a shit about training. You can train one thing, get in the cage, and nothing happens. That doesn't mean anything. It's good to see, but it doesn't mean he's good and has a serious ground game because you don't know that. Marcin Tybura. What about Marcin Tybura? He beat Marcin Tybura early, which if you beat Marcin Tybura, that's what happens. You beat him early. We need more glory heavyweights to come to UFC. Agreed. Agreed. 1,000%. We don't need fat heavyweights. We need heavyweights. Actual skilled heavyweights. That's what we need. Unbelievable. Holy moly, I am sweating up a goddamn storm. I like the new heavyweight. What are you talking about? You like the new heavyweight what? I'm curious on that. I think if Derek Lewis trained properly, he could have flatlined DC. I don't know if he ever could have stopped that level of wrestling from DC. Same as Tom Aspinall. DC, even when after John beat him and destroyed him, thank you very much, John. I don't think Tom ever beats DC. Sorry. They got the one champ and the PFL champ. Oh, yeah. I agree. Yep. He trains with Craig Jones these days for what it's worth. Seen some footage online. Again, so did John. Again, training, having sessions with Craig is cool, but I don't think he's a part of his daily routine. I think he's just trained with him before. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can say, oh, he hasn't had to use it. Well, yeah, he hasn't had to use it because of the guys that he's fighting. He hasn't had to do these things because he understands the game plan. Okay, this guy's really bad. If you pressure him, you throw big shots, you might be able to get him out of there. He put himself in really bad positioning against Curtis Blades and Sergey Pavlich. And Pavlich caught him. Blades is not a good fighter. Didn't catch him. So he didn't get those missed opportunities by those fighters. They didn't take advantage of it. That's why it's so hard for me to be like, oh, John would absolutely get destroyed by him. Why? But Tom Aspinall makes a lot of mistakes. Now, would John have an issue if John just sat and was striking with him? Yes. Yes. Ryan Spam, yuck. Usyk in the UFC thoughts. I don't know how his takedown defense would be. I think that'd be a problem. I think if he could have takedown defense, he would be the best in the world. Unless John fought him, because he would take him down and beat him up. But yeah. Yeah, and Craig Jones also talked about John and his grappling and stuff. He also talked about it. So. Renan Fierro in the UFC thoughts. I don't think Renan Fierro is all that good. Could he have some fun fights and probably win some early UFC matchups? Sure. I'm not sold on Renan Fierro. I've seen too many times where he's folded under pressure. Did he beat Ryan Bader quickly? Yes. You know what happens when you fight Ryan Bader and you're a big power puncher? You can finish him early. That's the reality. Blade's not good. He will win the Asmo tragedy. Fam Dark Horse. Hey, Head Stepper, do you know what happened in the first fight? Because nobody won that fight. No, Blades is bad. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? By the way, aside from the one hit he took from Sergey Pavlovich, I don't recall Tom ever getting hit that mattered. Well, who did he fight? Even if it didn't matter, who is he fighting? His biggest matchup was Sergey, and he did get caught with a nice left hook. Yeah, sure, that didn't hurt him. But if he fought Francis and he got caught like that, he gets finished. Or at least hurt really badly. Felipe de Frey has been on a run. Yes, he has. I don't know how good he would be back in the UFC. I don't know what the testing pool is like. They should sign him too. Yeah, I don't know what the testing pool is like. I don't know Phil de Vries because I think he's 39 or something. I don't know. Watch. I did watch. Blades didn't win the first one. Yeah, they gave it to him, but he didn't win the first fight. So how the fuck would he win a trilogy? Blades is never going to fight Tom Aspinall. Sorry, buddy. He didn't win his last fight, let alone beat Tom Aspinall. They're 1-1 because of a fucking technicality. They are not 1-1. That is nuts, sir. He did win on a technicality. He didn't beat Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's knee gave out. And because stupid rules for some reason, when someone gets injured, unless it's like the Silva Anderson thing when he, or not Silva Anderson, Silva Weidman thing when he breaks his leg and it's because of Weidman, that makes sense. Not fucking Curtis Blades in that. Look at the strike count. Dude, I don't care if I outstruck you 100-1. If you hurt your knee, I didn't win the fight. You got hurt. MVP got to be the most unorthodox fighter in the sport. I agree. 100%, yes. Yes. Very good, though. Very good. I like him a lot. I want to see him fight everybody. I want to see it all, please. I'm curious in so many matchups. Do what? I'm here. We're live. We're talking about fights. Sam Albert versus Spain thoughts. Who? Are you talking about Alvi? Are you talking about Alvi? You said Albert. Sam Alvi. I think Spain destroys him. Destroys him. Ilya moves up to heavyweight and knocks out Tom. That'd be crazy. I love seeing Sam Alvi win, though. I gotta be honest. Love it. It's so cool. Tom versus Gon. Probably Tom, but he's not gonna win early. MVP versus Wonderboy Thompson stylistically would be an epic matchup. Agreed. That's your autocorrect. Oh, okay. My bad. I kind of assumed it was after I started typing, but just making sure. Khabib is a bum, don't you agree? No. I think he's overrated, but I don't think he's a bum. Tom Aspinall got his faced head lit up. What? What are you talking about? You know how quickly that first fight was? Sam Alvey versus Tom Aspinall at the White House? That would be wild. Wild. I would put the fucking. I'd take out a loan on my house and put it on Tom Aspinall winning that fight. That'd be wild. Saved him from getting KO'd. Now you're trolling. There is no way you think that. No way. When is the White House fight happening? Any dates? Next year. Probably around, I would say, May, June. They're creating the landscape of it, so I would say it's happening. Unless it changes from here to next year, yes. Who would be the first 3 division champion, Poatan or Ilya? I think Poatan has more of a chance than Ilya. I don't think Ilya would be all that great against at 170. I do think Ilya against somebody like JDM or somebody like Colby, if he was champion, I think Ilya would win. But yeah. Rewatch the fight. I've watched 1,000 times. I know. Who are your top 5 fighters that need to be in the White House card? John, Tom. Who was that? Oh, Chandler, Ruffy, or Ruffy, whatever you want to say. Um, um, uh, who was it? Fuck. MVP, Wonderboy, but that's not happening, so take that away. Who is the guy? Son of a bitch. Pantoja, Van. Ooh, that'd be sick. Poetan versus. I guess we're gonna go with a rematch there, and that would be Khalil Roundtree. I wished it was somebody else, but that's probably that. Pereira against anybody at the White House would be sick. Oh, also, last one, Derek Lewis against anybody at the White House. I'd love to see that. Appreciate you, Jen. Let's just say Dana not giving any more title fights for making title fights for fights making their UFC debuts. Yeah, probably agree. Probably agree. Do you hate John Jones? Why the fuck do I hate John Jones? What? Covington versus JDM for the title headline the White House. How dare you? How dare you? JDM would slaughter Colby. Slaughter. Oh, Peyton Talbot versus Wellmaker. Love it. Love it. Love it. That'd be so fun. That fight would be awesome. Yes, please. Cuz fan, bad person? What? I don't agree with the things that John's done outside the octagon, but in the octagon, he's the greatest fighter of all time. He's a bad person outside the octagon, but we're talking about fighting here. As a fighter, he's great. Am I the only one who thinks the whole White House card thing is just silly, cute idea, but it just doesn't excite me more than any other statue pay-per-view? I don't know why. I think it's awesome. Gene Silva versus Josh Emmett. Gene Silva has to be careful because Gene was getting touched up a little bit by Mitchell, which I don't think it wasn't hurting him. I'm just saying he can't afford to get touched like that against Josh Emmett. Fighters look how Asakura turned out, smoked by Pantoja. Yeah. Buckley Prates. Interesting. The fight's only interesting for Buckley if he can implement his wrestling. If he can't, I think he's screwed. Thoughts on Marab versus Corey? Couldn't care less. Think Corey's boring. Not a fan of Corey, even a little bit. Marab all day, every day. But he takes picogram. Go take picogram. Tell me how good you are. But I was serious about the blade stuff. Okay. I hope not. Steve Garcia is in the top 15. Who's next? Ooh, that's a great question. Let's look. Steve Garcia. Mean Steve. Number 12. Featherweights. Oh, God. Number 12. Honestly, Josh Emmons going to hate that. Honestly, you probably could do a Pitbull versus Garcia. Or Garcia versus Emmett or Zalal. I'm going to say Garcia versus Patricio Pitbull. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. David Onama versus Steve Garcia are young the future of featherweight and the future. I gotta see a little bit more from Onama. I like Onama a ton, but he does make a ton of mistakes in there. Thoughts on Umar next? Umar's not next. What time zone am I in? It is 1:42 here where I'm at, Central Time. Central Time. Let's do a goal. Let's do 5, any color. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Here we go. So instead of streaming for 1 hour, I will stream for an additional hour. So I will stream for 2 hours. If I can get 5 super chats, they can be all 99 cents for all I care. 5 super chats, any color, any price, and start goal. Boom. There we go. 30 minutes. Thoughts on Sayed Bryce Mitchell? I think Sayed beats him. Probably by guillotine as well. Yeah, I think Sayed beats him. Better striker. Really has really good front chokes. I think Sayed Kakramanov is a better fighter than Bryce Mitchell. Should never been cut from the UFC, and Sayed beat him. Top 5 most unliked able UFC fighters. Jesus. Unlikable UFC fighters. Ooh, unlikable. Oh, well, Anthony Smith. To me, I don't like Corey Sandhagen. I think he's very blah. So Anthony Smith, Corey Sandhagen. Let's think. Colby Covington. Let's think. Who else? Who else could it be? Kyler Phillips, I do not like at all. At all. Austin Lane. UFC smoked the fuck out of you releasing Kakramanov. Absolutely. McGregor's another one, but he's not really a UFC fighter because he doesn't fight. So, yeah. There's probably some that I'm forgetting, but those are the ones I could come up with. Now, most likable fighter to me, tries to be up there. I got Piper Holland. Okay, okay. Piper I get. Holland I don't, but I get Piper. Torres Finney, that's fair. Michael Chandler, the most overrated fighter ever? No. No. Because there's talent there. He's not overrated. I mean, I guess if you're saying he shouldn't be like in the top five or shouldn't keep getting these exciting matchups, the problem with it is every time he fights, it's exciting, even if he's losing, because that's how he fights. Like even when he was getting beat up by Patty, he still Superman punched Patty in the face. So it's just like and the Gaethje fight, he could have won if he didn't dick around in the third round. I don't know. Oliveira gets dominated by Oliveira and almost wins the fifth. He comes back and wins in the fifth round. Kyler Phillips equals Suck Miniature Timu Wishlist version of Michelle Pereira, and Austin Lane equals Giant Balol Muhammad. Yeah, with dreadlocks and a worse chin. Oh, it fucking Joante Denise is fighting Mario Pinto. Yeah, interesting to me. That fight is very interesting. Very interesting to me. Let's see. 26 minutes. If I get 5 super chats, 1 extra hour when I reach the goal. 1. Gunnar Nelson fell off. I don't think necessarily he fell off. I just think he's older and he kind of stopped fighting. Because he came back a few times and won. And then obviously he got beat up by Holland. Is Nate Diaz ever going to fight again? I would assume so, yes. Who's your favorite fighter? My favorite fighter of all time is Cowboy. Donald Cerrone. Started watching him in 2006. It just kind of grew up with him. Definitely my favorite fighter. Watched the WEC days. Yours is Gaethje. Okay. I think Gaethje's a little tidbit overrated, gotta be honest. I like Gaethje from years ago. That was the highlight Gaethje. Yeah. Happy birthday to... Okay. Mine, Carlos Condit. Dude. Let's go. I fucking love Carlos. If I had to... He's probably my second favorite. I love the natural born killer. Also, probably one of the sickest nicknames of all time. Gegard Mousasi. Ooh, that's a great one. That's a great one. Love that. Hell yeah. Carlos Condit. Dude, that is so sick. Ugh. Still hurts my heart that he wasn't champion when he should have been. Also love the Diaz bros. Absolutely. Thoughts on Luke Thomas? Decent takes. I like his breakdowns sometimes on fighters, on fights. Sometimes he's a little too kind of political. Gets a little too weird. Yeah, Gaethje's pretty mid at fighting, but when I met him, nicest person ever. I wouldn't say he's mid at fighting. I think when he was the highlight, even though he obviously got in trouble with the Eddie Alvarez fight and the Poirier fight, I just think... I don't think he's as good now as he was before. I don't know. I just think he's a tidbit overrated. It's hard, I guess. Yo, Jordan, what's up, buddy? What you think of Darren Till, Luke Rockhold boxing fight match? I think Darren Till is going to beat Luke Rockhold up. Because Luke Rockhold has never been great with his boxing. He's always been better when he can implement his kicking. Also love Dan Henderson? Absolutely. Absolutely. Love Dan Henderson. Love Dan Henderson. Remember watching him in Strikeforce when he went on that run. Watched him when he destroyed Fedor. Got knocked down, but blasted him. I think he's more technical now and has better cardio. I wouldn't say... I think the cardio goes with the technicality or how technical he is. I wouldn't say it's better. I think it looks better because he's not flinging punches everywhere. They act like he's just this brawler and stuff, and it's just like, well, I don't think he's as active or his fights are as exciting as they were. I don't think any of his fights has been as exciting as the Michael Johnson fight. I think that's the reality for me. How'd you do this last card? Not gonna lie, I did horrible 7-7. I did nine. I was 9-5. Started out 7-0 or 6-0, 7-1. So, number one, Carlos Condit. 2, 3, Diaz Bros. 4, Dan. 5, Kane. I can't disagree with any of them. Can't disagree with any of them. Yeah, I can't disagree. For me, it'd probably be Cowboy, Carlos, Matt Brown, John Jones, and then Kane, and then it would be the Diaz brothers. Interesting stat: Ilya Taporia has never thrown a body or head kick in the UFC. Interesting. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I did not know that. Hmm. Hmm. But you gotta think for his own health, not just the entertainment. He got his shit rocked multiple times in the Johnson fight, but then you look at the second Viziev fight, he never got rocked. That's fair. I agree with that. Um, yeah, I agree with that. I just think when you're watching a Justin Gaethje fight, they act like he's still that highlight fighter, and to me, he's just not. Even though yes, he's doing good work, he's picking his shots more, but it's just like this isn't the same dude that they're acting like he is. BJ Penn and Joe Lozon used to be my favorite back in the day. Oh, those are great picks. My favorite fight is Nate versus Cowboy. Ooh, okay. 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 That was a good fight. I love when Nate's like flipping Cowboy off. I think it was the between the first and the second round, or second, yeah, first and the second round, and Cowboy's just nodding his head. It's like, yep, you got me. Dustin Poirier looked sluggish. I don't think he looked sluggish. I thought Max was beating him to every punch, really. Dustin wasn't letting his hands go. Jan versus McGee will be a good fight. Yep. Shocker. I have McGee. What fight you think was his last exciting fight? Ooh. Whose last exciting fight? Oh, sorry. Gaethje's. I think Alvarez fight was exciting. I don't think any fight has been as exciting as the Michael Johnson fight. I guess besides that, let's look. Because the Chandler fight was decent, but a little overrated because um, Chandler didn't fight in that second or the third round. Let's look. Let's look. Um, yeah, I have to say Michael Johnson. That was his most exciting fight. Again, I guess if we're going a different way, I wouldn't even say the Max fight because Max was beating him up. Viziev fight wasn't that exciting at all. I guess maybe the first Viziev fight because I actually thought Viziev won. I thought he won round 1 and 2, and then Gaethje took over round 3. But yeah, I mean he has how many what? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 bonuses, which he has. What is that? Jesus Christ. 14 fights. So all but 2 fights he's gotten. Actually, I think all but Oh yeah, 2 fights. The Charles first fight and the Michael Chandler or the Khabib fight. All the fights he didn't get a bonus. Crazy. And good shit got me by 2. Yeah. Gaethje title or we riot. Gaethje does not deserve a title shot. What are we talking about? He's 1-2 in his last 3. Or he's 1-1 in his last 2. He does not deserve a title shot. He just lost a BMF belt. Dominated. He does not deserve a title shot. You don't get a title shot with a win over Viziev. Sorry. Ilya's boxing superior, doesn't need to use the leg strikes, but it is MMA. After all, gotta mix it up a bit. He'll have to mix it up a bit eventually. Did you know that Gaethje has fought a dude with half an arm? Yes, Nick Newell. Yes, knocked him out, I believe, with a hook against the cage. Number 1, Nate versus Cowboy. 2, Frankie Gray Maynard. 3, Shogun Henderson. Oh, good God. That second one's crazy, too. 4 is Guida versus Sanchez. Great fight. 5, Matt Brown versus Wonder Boy. Great fight. Also should be on there is Matt Brown versus Cowboy. Another fight that should be on there is Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit. Come on. I like kickboxing. I've seen that too in a different organization where he fought one guy with one arm. Crazy, but he was taking it easy on him, to be honest. Yeah, Nick Newell. Yep. It was a straight right. It was against the cage. You're right. It was a straight right. You're correct. It was against, he fell against the cage. You're right. Correct. Yep. I remember him falling backwards and then waving the fight off. Yep. Oh, another fighter that I like a lot and wasn't great in the UFC, whatever, I guess, is Brian Foster. I liked him a lot. Never thought he was going to be champion or anything like that, but I liked the way he fought. Oh, man, I haven't seen that fight in a long time. Who I think is the GOAT? Who do I think is the GOAT? I meant John Jones. If I cannot say John because of the PED stuff, I'm gonna say GSP. Petr Yan schools you on the feet, huh? Huh? Carlos had the best finishing in MMA history with a flying knee versus stun gun. Dan Hardy KO Condit is a badass. Yes, it is. I fucking love it. The stun gun one's incredible. For one, he was sick and almost pulled out of the fight. 2, he throws a front kick. Obviously, he wasn't trying to land. He was trying to get stun gun to back up against the cage. Boom, a flying knee. Oh, it was beautiful. GSP is the GOAT. Johnny can't be the GOAT from PEDs. Okay. I have an argument against that, but that's fine. Okay. Let's see. Nick Newell. Yep, right there. Mmanow versus Central Joblies, 7-Eleven Shop Arena. Let's go. I would beat him. Well, let's see. Chris Lieben is a fighter I like to like. Oh, I love Chris. What's the argument? That if you or why is it that a lot of people have taken PEDs but they haven't had the success that John has? Walt Harris, for an example, took a lot of PEDs, suspended for a lot of multiple years. Walt Harris is a bad fighter. John, for some reason, is the only guy that's taken PEDs, and he's the greatest of all time. PEDs don't make you great. You have to have the talent, and you have to be able to put it to use in the octagon. That's my thing. He is not a champ, but always loved his fights. How could you not? Absolutely. Stun Gun had a good career. Decent. Didn't fight a ton, but decent career. Looking at this freaking Gaethje finish. I think it's right. Oh, I think it's right here. Straight to the body. Oh, yep. Straight. That was in 2014. That is crazy. That is nuts. Whew. Feels forever ago, honestly. Honestly. Yeah, he obviously had talent more than other PD users, but he still used them, not showing us his true skills. Sure, sure, but if this isn't his true skills and he could be better without it, I couldn't imagine what he could do. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine. Because even in the fight that he said he was bad in, the OSP fight, he dominated. Did whatever the fuck he wanted to. So, Gilbert Melendez was badass too. Yes, especially in Strikeforce. He was incredible in Strikeforce. He came over a little too late as well. So did Josh Thompson. So did Melendez. Also, the best version of Masvidal was 55. Sorry. To me, that's true. His only fight completely clean was against his wife. Ooh. 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 Yikes. I think he was drunk during that one, but it's possible. Either way, not great. Not great. We're not talking about him outside the cage because scary stuff. Gilbert Melendez, Strikeforce champ, Frankie champ versus champ would have been crazy. Yes. Yes. Reflecting back on makes juries. Oh, Miles' jury career. Are you surprised he didn't become a Bellator champion? Sort of, because he was having a lot of success over there, but I believe he lost and then he retired. Let's see, Miles Jury. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Long time. I believe he hasn't fought since 2021. 4 years since he's fought. He's 36 years old now. The fuck did that come from? Holy shit. Holy moly. He looked really good in Bellator, you know, there for a minute. I mean, I guess he only went two and two, but wow. Cowboy was his first loss as well. Let's go, Cowboy. Let's go, baby. Eddie Alvarez, Bellator champ versus Benson, WBC man, a 4-man tournament. I think Eddie would win that. I think Eddie would have beaten Benson back in Bellator, Eddie. And it's crazy because Eddie is somehow underrated. Casually came to the UFC, won a few fights, became champion. I think it's overshadowed, obviously, because he was mauled by Conor, but still. Gilbert Melendez, Frankie, Eddie, Benson, Anthony. Yeah, I think Alvarez would have won. The lightweight era was awesome. Yes, it was. He only lost to Alves and Cowboy in UFC, I think. No, he lost to Cowboy, Oliveira, Mendez, Feely. Chad Mendez was the only one to finish him. But yeah, he was submitted by Charles Oliveira by guillotine. Shocker there. Yeah, he was, I think, like, 8-4 in the UFC. Finished twice. Yeah. Feely. Yep, lost the decision to Andre Feely. Andre Touchy Feely. MMA slowly on the decline. I disagree 1,000%. The fights to me are only getting better. Technique's only getting better. I hard disagree. Hello from England. Sup? No more American. It'll change. It'll change. Don't worry. And even if there's no American champions, I don't care. I don't care. Except for the just Dagestani fighters, that's not true. That's not true. We have Pantoja. We have Pantoja. We have JDM. Tom's the best. Come on, bro. The best. What are you talking about? He's fought nobody. I also hard disagree. Okay. Oh, hard disagree that it's on the decline. Yeah, I don't think it's on decline at all. But I really do appreciate you guys at least for learn English. Fair, fair. But I do appreciate you guys. It is after 2 in the morning here. Thank you guys so much. I'll be live again tomorrow, probably around 12:30 or so. But hope you guys have a good night. Peace. El Nasty, thank you for being here. Head, thank you for being here. Buff Waffle, we'll talk next time. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. You get all the notifications. Only Dag Champion is Ankh currently. Well, it was Islam, so I mean, I guess that's true. Yeah. But appreciate you guys. Peace.